Have you ever been disappointed by a man? Have you ever sat around and said, I wonder if he'll get better? If so, it looks like we have some things in common. Men are boring. They like things like football. What's a touchdown? I think it's code for something sexist. No, I thought that was like golf. Bro, they're all the same. What the fuck is football? I don't know. God, I don't fucking get it. They also like misogyny. Did you just call me a whore? No, I don't think you understand. I will step on your balls until they explode. Well, do I have the cure for you? Throw the whole man out. But Chrissy, isn't that problematic? Shut up. So girls, gays, and nays, this is my advice for you.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video, and on today's episode, guys, we are going to be kicking it off with this clip right here, which perfectly shows why men are not interested in being chivalrous anymore. You hear the complaints from modern women all the time, guys. Why are men not dating us anymore? Why are men not taking us seriously anymore? Why are men not being chivalrous in the year 2022? Well, without further ado, guys, let's jump into this clip right here. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
The most humbling thing for a man is when we find a loving, caring, compassionate, genuine woman worth a damn who can actually afford her own Bacardi and Coke. We offer that as a nice...
Man, I think he felt hit. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. First off, I had to borrow this video for my friend Good Trouble on here because I was getting tagged in his videos, but apparently he's been banned. Turns out he's also a raging racist. The misogynist to racist pipeline, that Venn diagram's a circle, bitch.
I love how anytime you criticize a woman for anything, you are immediately labeled one of these terms. Like, you cannot get on here and say something reasonable like, hey, men shouldn't get married because there are a lot of risks associated with marrying modern women, without being labeled a misogynist or without people saying, hey, you don't like women. This woman treating it like a victory that this guy got banned from the platform is absolutely ridiculous, considering if you say anything critical of women, you are instantly banned from TikTok. Yet the same application pushes out open misandry. Let's keep going.
But I digress. This is a stitch of another girl saying the most humbling thing for a man is when he buys you drinks and you fucking take off. Clearly grandpa didn't like it. But
yeah, it's almost like men don't like being used for things. I know that's crazy. I know that's difficult to understand, but men actually don't like being used for free drinks, for free dinners, for free attention, and for free validation. Like, it's super complicated, I understand, but men actually don't like being treated like crap. Okay, dudes who are out here in marriages or long-term relationships or out here dating, they actually don't enjoy being treated terribly by the other gender. And for you to sit here and complain about misogyny and to go on in a moment and probably complain about the patriarchy is just incredibly ironic when you treat the opposite gender the way you just did.
first, a Bacardi and Coke? Love yourself a little more. Jesus. That gets bought for me. I'm not taking it as a compliment. I'm taking it as an attack. But that's...
Yeah, because if a man buys something for you, you should obviously take it as an attack if you don't like it. You see, this is one of the reasons why dudes don't buy you things anymore, or why dudes are not interested in dating you, or why men are not interested in marrying you. Number one, because it's a risk, but number two, because if men do these things for you, oftentimes they're just attacked for it anyway, or they're just made fun of. Like, we've all seen it, guys, right? Where an ugly guy, a quote-unquote ugly guy, will go up and talk to a woman, and then the woman will outright just reject him and then make like a social martyr out of him or make fun of him because he had the quote-unquote audacity to come and talk to her. Like, men are just openly made fun of for providing things for women, for giving women things, whether that be commitment or a drink. So what on earth is the point of even giving women these things if you just get made fun of, especially if like the woman just doesn't like the drink? Like, what's he supposed to do about that? Know your preferences before he buys you it? Like, get out of here, man.
Besides the point. He says they do that as a nice gesture. Interesting words for the expectation of getting laid. That's what you really meant, right?
Actually, not a lot of men have the expectation of getting laid. Yeah, there are a lot of dudes who will buy you a drink, you know, to try and see where it goes and maybe try and have some bedroom fun, but dudes don't expect to get laid right off the bat. In fact, a lot of dudes, when they buy drinks, expect to get rejected, expect to get insulted. And here's the funny thing about this situation, okay? If you're going to assume that the only reason that men talk to you is because of bedroom fun, ironically enough, that's actually going to be the reason why men talk to you. If you just assume that all men are dogs and all men want is bedroom fun, it's actually going to work out that a lot of men will actually only approach you for these things, because if you're assuming men are bad by default, why would dudes even want to get into a relationship with you to begin with? Like, why would men want to go out here and build a connection with people who don't even like men to begin with? I know this is like very hard mathematics to understand here, but like, I personally, guys, and maybe this is just me, maybe I'm going crazy, but I actually don't want to spend time with people who don't like me when there are people out there who are going to like me. So like, what's the point of wasting my time buying drinks, and what's the point trying to build a connection with these girls when a lot of them aren't worth the connection to begin with?
Yeah, that's what I thought, bitch. That's why I always advocate for getting free drinks. Fuck 'em, bitch. You rack up all the free drinks you can get, babe. You know why? Because it's not what the patriarchy has done to you, it's what it can do for you, babe. And
yeah, guys, obviously just living as a woman is so difficult. You get handed free drinks, free attention, free validation, free money. Hell, you can make an OnlyFans these days and easily make 10 grand a month if you look half decent. But yeah, screw the patriarchy, am I right? Like, men just have it so much easier, and they are oppressing us by buying us things. You see the logic that lies behind this, guys? It's like, men will get these women free things, and then they'll think, yeah, and they'll use that as justification to say, screw the dude. Okay, so why on earth should men continue? Why on earth would a man have the logical step here, guys? Like, let's use our brains for a moment, right? If we're being insulted for giving women free things, why would we then go on to say, hey, you know what? Let's get married, or let's have a relationship, or let's build a connection, right? And not to say that there are not good women out there, guys, but they are few and far between, especially out here in the West.
free drinks is the least they could fucking do. When men pursue women in situations like that, and they want to buy them drinks, why are they buying you drinks? Is it because they think you look like you have a really good taste in music? They look at you and they're like, you know what? She looks smart. No, that's not why. Lie to your mom, bitch. So that's why I say, bleed them dry, bitch. That's what I advocate for.
And you know what I advocate for? Men not giving free crap to women. Because a lot of the times, men will just be used for these things, whether or not they just have the intention to use you for bedroom fun, or whether or not they're actually looking for a connection, which, by the way, a lot of guys aren't actually just necessarily looking for bedroom fun. I know this is astounding, but not every man is just interested in one thing. In fact, a lot of guys are still interested in having relationships and having connections, but the question becomes, why would a man go out and have a relationship, or look for one, or, you know, try and build a connection when they're just treated like this from the get-go? You know, like, why would dudes go out here and say, oh, okay, well, I'm going to try and get with a girl who just openly uses men for free drinks in the first place? You see how this situation is created, right? If you treat men like crap, they don't want relationships with you. Absolutely astounding, I know.
I look at men buying drinks for women in situations like that as like going to Vegas. When you go to Vegas and you go and gamble, you know you're not gonna win. The house always comes out on top, bitch. But you spend that money anyways. Why? Because you're stupid. And also,
I mean, she said it, guys, right? You know, and here's the thing, right? I kind of agree with her. It's hard to disagree. I think if you're a dude and you're buying things for women, if you're giving them free attention, free validation, that's incredibly stupid in the year 2022. There used to be a time, guys, back in the day where you could, you know, do things nice for other people, and it would be genuinely appreciated, and people would, you know, a lot of girls would have gratitude for these things, but not anymore, guys. Like, really, a lot of the times when men do these things, they're just met with like a spit in the face and told, you know, awful things, or the girl will just run off with the drinks, or whatever the case may be. So I agree with her here, actually, guys. There isn't really a point in doing it.
so the thrill of maybe, who knows, maybe you'll get to go home with her. You won't, but you don't care about that, do you? That's misogyny, babe.
Yeah, guys, you know, buying drinks for women is misogyny.
Given the fact that this dude is a racist and a misogynist,
Where's the proof?
thinks that's why you buy Bacardi and Cokes and get fucking ditched. Or maybe it's whatever's under that hat. You can't have both. You simply gotta pick one. Or die alone. I really don't give a fuck. Bye!
Yeah, guys, you know, I wonder why dudes aren't getting married anymore. I wonder why a lot of men are not interested in trying to find a relationship with these women anymore. As you can see, guys, let me just pull down the video a bit here so you can see this, okay? You know, we got tattoos on the hands, multiple tattoos on the hands. We have, you know, just the longest nails of all time. You already know how many red flags are in that particular video. So guys, let's continue on to today's article here that I have pulled up. And this is a bit of an interesting one, okay? So basically, we have an article here that's talking about women being victims on dating apps and how women basically have it difficult because they are encouraged to look, you know, as though they are not high maintenance, right? So let's take a look at this. This has been sent to me a few times. I'm pretty sure Better Bachelor has covered this at one point. But this is a pretty interesting read. So let's take a listen. It is titled, "The Sinister Truth of the Balancing Act That Women Face on Dating Applications, All to Ensure a Man's Comfort." So obviously, guys, women are just out here struggling on the dating applications, you know, all in the name of ensuring a man's comfort, apparently. It doesn't really matter how many times I can bring up a dating profile over here just showing the most abhorrent things from a woman saying those things to a man. It doesn't matter how many bad dating profiles I pull up, guys. Apparently women are here to ensure the comfort of a man on dating applications. Interesting. Let's take a read here. The term high maintenance is part of everyday speech and usually refers to a woman who places a high value on her personal image, wants, or needs. Right, so let's take a look at this, guys. What does this mean in a contemporary sense, okay? The term high maintenance means a woman who places emphasis on her personal image, wants, or needs. Basically, a woman who comes into a relationship, she says, here's the thing that you as a man, you need to provide these things, whether that be money or emotional support or whatever the case may be, and who also upholds her personal image, basically having an image to strangers online, other random dudes. Often uttered within the context of dating, the implication is the woman in question is too much hard work, an easier, more relatable mate would be preferred. Rarely, if ever, do we come across the term high maintenance man. Yeah, it's almost like men don't actually ask for a lot in relationships. I know that's super wild. I know that's super crazy, but I've always said this, guys, which is that men are a lot easier to please in a relationship. Like, in order to get a dude into a relationship, you don't need to go out here and to grind for months on end in the gym to achieve a muscular physique, okay? You don't need to go earn 6-7 figures to get the attention from a man. Typically, you just have to be somewhat pretty, and you have to be sane, and you have to actually like the guy. Like, it really is not that complicated. But yes, there are a lot of women who they're incredibly high maintenance, and what that really means, guys, is basically just unpleasant to deal with. A woman who will constantly nag a dude, and I know it's just, again, today's episode is just full of surprises, but I know it's very surprising that men actually don't want to deal with women who are going to be nagging and annoying them all the time. I know that's just absolutely insane. On dating applications, users make split-second decisions, relying on profile pictures to guide them. In my research into dating applications and heterosexual matches, I found men sought to portray themselves as handsome, muscular, tanned, even in their profile shots to attract more matches. Yeah, so men try to make themselves look more attractive. Conversely, women sought to portray themselves against a cultural idea. Women looked to develop profiles which conveyed them as not high maintenance. I don't know if that's particularly true, guys. I really do not know. Oftentimes, when you see these women on dating applications, they basically have a bunch of things that they're talking about that they want from men, or that they demand from men, or else they're not interested in getting with. Like, particularly as you go into your 30s, guys, how many profiles on online dating do you see of, like, single mothers or girls who are now looking for a serious relationship, and here's all of the things that men have to do for them? A lot of the girls are actually posting on there to look as high maintenance as possible. Like, they're literally looking like, here's the things that all of the men need to do for me to even be considered, which of course is just really counterintuitive when you see their previous dating partners who didn't have to do anything for them at all. What does high maintenance mean on dating applications? High maintenance was a slippery and yet sticky category defined by physical and behavioral characteristics. In her profile photos, the high maintenance quote-unquote girl, as she was often described by the men and women in my research, was likely wearing too much makeup or form-fitting clothes. She would be dressed for a party or going out. She would be pouting at the camera Instagram style or toting an expensive handbag. Yeah, I know. It's almost crazy, right? That dudes don't want to be dating women who are party girls or girls who, you know, post all these provocative photos for Instagram. This is another one of those situations, guys, where it's like girls, like dudes do not want to date women who are going out here, club girls, Instagram girls, single mothers, and things like that. Men have preferences in what they choose to date or what they would like to date. And then women have turned around, at least in this article, and going, that's incredibly difficult, right? It's difficult not to go out here and be an absolute clown on the streets. Like, look at this. They're acting as though they're being oppressed because men are not interested in dating party women. That's insane. Once tarnished with the high-maintenance brush, it was difficult to be perceived as otherwise. Behaviorally, she was perceived as difficult. She wanted things and expected a high standard. There was a labor involved in dating her and therefore a financial burden. No. See, it's not about the financial burden. Men just don't want to date girls who are crazy. These girls who go out here and do their partying and have their 304 phase into their 30s, these do not make good partners for men. Men are not interested, typically, in dating these sorts of girls. It has nothing to do with the financial burden or the quote-unquote labor involved in dating her, although the nagging and stuff can be annoying. Men just don't want to date girls who are going out here, you know, posting questionable photos to other random dudes on the internet or going out clubbing, essentially looking for other men to even begin with. As one male participant indicated, there are plenty of super attractive girls on dating apps, but I mean, I can't afford that sort of thing. It's too high maintenance. I love how they just take this one guy and treat it as though this is how things are supposed to mean. Okay, and chances are, by the way, just because there are plenty of attractive girls on dating applications doesn't mean that the average man can actually get a woman on a dating application. Like, yeah, he could probably get one here and there, but for the most part, most men are invisible to women on dating applications. Women within my research sought to present themselves as pretty but relatable. They didn't want to quote-unquote intimidate a potential match through their images and behavior. Have these people ever seen the types of women that are on dating applications at all? Women literally do the exact opposite of this when they're out here on these dating applications. The idea that they don't want to quote-unquote intimidate a guy or they want to appear relatable. Is that why they use all of these fake filters? Is that why they, you know, show off their Gucci purses or their child who, you know, honestly, there hasn't been a man in the picture with them for? Like, these people just have no idea what they're talking about, the individuals that have written this article. As one female participant indicated, a high-maintenance woman expected too much. The need to appear attractive and yet not high maintenance meant women had to conduct a balancing act. Man, guys, isn't it just so hard to be a woman on a dating application, right? You have to appear as though you're not completely insane. That must be very difficult to do. There was a kind of effortless, petty nonchalance required. My everyday look is an oversized tee and very comfy clothes, but on my profile, there's the festival picture where I'm obviously done up, and there are 2 photos where I'm with friends. I did feel the pressure where you should at least look pretty, but at the same time, you need to look relatable. So I guess at the same time, people aren't intimidated to approach you. Men are not intimidated to approach you. They just don't want to have relationships with women who are dressed like 304s at festivals where they've clearly gotten with other dudes. But anyway, guys, honestly, I think we might just leave it there. I'm getting a headache reading this damn article, man. Make sure to leave your thoughts and your comments, guys, to the video and the article that we've covered here today. Don't forget to subscribe to our other content creators, Hadan from Peace of Mind and Detective Warg. And without further ado, guys, we're going to be leaving it there. So make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.